Okay, so basically, I'm a little bit washed right now because I haven't been practicing stuff as much and I've just been playing. I feel like my skills could use a refresher and whatnot. So, I'm going to share some of the things that I'm going to practice with you guys and also quickly explain the meta as best as I can because I know a lot of people look up to me, and as a way for you to keep up or start doing your thing in Gorilla Tag, I'm gonna just explain uh, how you can progress, what you need to know to progress, which is just really the meta. So, anyways, let's start with the meta. So, the meta, in the simplest terms, is you go in a circle in the map. So, let's just imagine that stump is the entire map, big circle, and honestly, maybe no, it's not. It's not the same shape. Imagine it was, but so I'm going this way around the map, which is basically just over there. Going this way, boom. There's a tagger right in front of me, so I have to stop, and I have a couple of options. I can try to get around him, even go above him. I can go down below him. But if I can't, and chances are, if you're in the pro league, it's gonna be harder to get around him. I mean, it's doable, but the reason I say that is because I will be following a specific route. Say that this line is a route, and the tagger's right in front of me. There's only a couple different routes I can go, and most pros will know, like, they'll read you. They can read you so they can predict. Your other option is to turn around and go the other way. So now I'm going the other way, following my line, my little route. Maybe I jump to this one, and jump to this one, and now there's a tagger in front of me here. Then there's one this way. I have an option to go through the middle or get around one of them. And let's say I get around this guy. And now I'm just going and going and going and going. And eventually there's going to be more taggers, and they're going to keep coming in different patterns. Literally, this game is like very technical and strategical because it's all just like a pattern. The skill is you knowing what patterns to use. So I'll show an example of a pattern. There's leading, and then there's cutoffs. So right here, people use the box throw right here, but they don't do it anymore quite often because it's quicker to go here and then go here than it is for you to box throw and run all the way around this wall. So say someone just box throwed through. Can't even say that. It's like bad grammar. I don't know how to make that plural or whatever, a verb. But anyways, they just boxed through. But I took the quicker route. Now I'm in front of them, and they're in that situation where they have to look at their options. They could go up slippery wall, go above me. They could drop down, do a little wall juke. They could turn around, box throw this way, like that, or they can go through to the center of the map. Going to the center of the map is a good option, and what you want to know is what's called rotates. Rotates help you go through the center of the map and to another part in the map. So I just went through the center, but now I'm back on the edge of the map quickly. So say there's a tagger over there somehow. You just want to know the most efficient routes to traverse around the outside, and as well as avoid cutoffs. So another example really quickly of a cutoff is, say a runner is going along pig wall and I'm a tagger. I see them running along pig wall. They're going this way and they have no idea I'm here because maybe their awareness is bad. So what I'm going to do is beat them to stump as fast as I can and cut them off right here because stump is much faster. So if you were a runner, you want to take the most efficient path. So if I was on pig wall back here and I was a runner, you would want to jump off and take stump so that no one can use stump against you. Being on stump, now I'm going to explain what's called a slump. A slump. I call slump a stump, which rhymes. And the reason is because the amount of options you have. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 branches on stump, and it's a pretty big thing. Now, taggers obviously have the advantage of being faster than you if you're not last. So when you basically get on stump, you kind of have to go just as fast as you can. But the thing about stump is it's a slump because your options are very limited. So your options being limited, they're predictable. Everyone knows you're going to tall plat when you come off a stump. Everyone knows you're about to come here and wall run the map and go to tallest. They're just going to say on stump, heading tall plat, heading tallest, heading tall wall. They're always going to be giving call outs on you. But yeah, stump is a slump because your options are limited, and you'll notice whenever you go to stump, you're more likely to get tagged because it's harder to get away. So when you get in an area that's a slump, make sure you try your hardest to get away. Like, try your hardest to get out of a slump. If that means finding a quick rotation like this or something, find a quick rotation to just get out of there. You got to get yourself up out of here as quick as you can. So just do a bunch of rotations or whatever you need to do to just get out of there and find your way out of there. Rotations are hard to follow because they're long jumps. So just do whatever you can to get up out of there. You feel me? Double walls makes for good play because it's just double walls. They're weird. Make sure you're good in every area and you have escapes in every area. The worst thing to do is fall down back here. This is one of the worst things to do because you're either going to scale up here and everyone can see you, so they're instantly making their predictions and doing cutoffs. You're either going to run through here, go up, or stay down on ground. If you're fast on ground, then more you're in luck. You could come up here, go this way to here, and go rotate tallest. It's all about assessing your options and knowing the most efficient routes. So knowing the most efficient routes just comes with practicing, playing, observing other pros, and learning for yourself what you can do efficiently just by taking a look around. So like, say I want to utilize this rotate right here, but the only way I can think of to get up here is by scaling this tree. You want to just find a way in which you might end up being able to use that. So like right here, I'm just looking, and this is not bad to get to this rotate. It's not that bad. You feel me? So there's the meta and the best way I can explain it. I'll tell you exactly what you need to know on the meta. You need to know most of the basic rotations, and I'm going to be showing some not basic rotations, but they incorporate the basic rotations. So the rotations are just long jumps, by the way, but you need to know those. You want to be able to wall run along the map both ways very quickly and stay up at the top. You don't want to be coming down here and slowly trying to get around, because that's not going to fly with pros. You want to be quick at wall running the map. You want to know limmy routes. Limmy routes, he loves when people say limmy routes, but yeah, limmy routes are like one of those things that you learn from the community or just know. But yeah, it's one of those things where you learn the most efficient routes from the pros. Limmy routes are basically just doubling back. So say I jumped out of the sky, land right here, come here, and now I'm just going to double back. That's like basically a limmy route. On those top branches is like where you can utilize it the most. The main limmy route that everyone knows about. It's basically right here. You jump off of you basically jump off of this and end up coming back, and that's it. Or you stretch it out further, stretch it out further, and then come back uh, the longer way, which I failed, but yeah. One more thing, actually, before I finish explaining the entire meta. This area, I call cluster, is the best area, one of the best areas, because you have so many options. If you can, you want to make your way back to cluster, or ultimately though, you want to have good awareness as a runner. I should explain this. You want to have very good awareness so that if you were running on tall wall, you can see the person trying to cut you off on stump and just turn around and utilize those options that we talked about on the top of stump. Utilize your options. You can only utilize your options if you have awareness. And my favorite thing to do, which will help me time cap or just last longer in general, is rotate immediately to the freest side of the map. I don't care if I have to jump right past the tagger and he's right there. I'm immediately rotating to the clear side of the map, even if it's a slump part of the map, because I know that as soon as I rotate, I'll have enough distance to make it through and buy myself more time while running, or even just pull off some rotations they won't be able to follow to get even more distance. You always want to rotate to the safe side of the map. So say I'm on this side of the map, my teammate is over there, he's being chased by all three. What am I going to do? Just sit over here and wait for them to get him so they can come get me? No, you want to immediately just rotate to the safest side of the map while your teammate's dealing with them. Also ideal for you to be able to give callouts to them. Good distance, bad distance. Watch out for cutoff. One's right above you. He's going to jump down. And that is now all that I have for the meta of the game. So I hope this helps you guys a lot. If you want to stick around, I'll be doing some rotations. I'm not going to explain them. I'm just going to do them. Maybe I'll have some text on the screen. But thank you guys for watching, if that's all you came here for, which I highly doubt. And yeah, that was the best I could explain the meta. Maybe someone else has more inputs. Feel free to comment them down below. Okay, so now I'm going to be showing my favorite rotations and give a little bit of explanation for them. This one is whenever I find myself on tall plat below it. Obviously, not when I'm up top. If I'm coming from double walls and swinging double walls to here, whether I happen to land perfectly on the 6th branch of a tall plat tree, I'll go for this rotation. Or whether I jump off the wall slowly and come straight to it, or whether I'm just monkeying around on the tree and find my way here. I almost always never scale this tree when I find myself on it, unless I'm scaling up to the 6th branch, because I like this rotation. I feel like it's safest because obviously this is a slump area and I just know I'm not the fastest in this area quite yet, so in this whole area back here. So what I'll do is hit this rotation or go to double walls and go that way. If I'm coming from up here and landing on this rotation, I'll go to tallest almost every time. Okay, so this rotation right here is just off of stump. I'll usually do this, but obviously you don't have to start from here to initiate this rotation. But I should explain that because most newbies wouldn't know that. But I know pros will know to take some parts and all that stuff of just about everything they find that seems useful. But yeah, so whenever I'm on stump, this is one of my favorite rotations to do. I'll almost always do this because I don't see any other option viable to me on stump. I don't want to underhook this to 7th branch or just start wall running the map over to here, because like I said, in this area I'm not the best, so I'll typically rotate out of it as soon as I get the chance, because I'm not gonna quickly lead someone all the way up to tallest and then start running along back wall, I feel like, without getting tagged, because it's too much of a straightaway and it's like the most basic option that they're just going to be straight tagging me because they know exactly what I'm doing. So anyways, here's the rotation. Okay, really quickly, I'm going to show some fake rotations. So, fake out rotations. So, that's one of them. Basically, you just are seemingly going to tallest, and then you just go to treehouse. I hit my wall. Yeah, then you just go to treehouse. Another one that I like to do is right here, where you're coming this way, and it's like you're going to jump to this wall and go to stump. But instead of doing that as fast as you can, jump backwards. You're gonna jump backwards and land on top of tallest. Okay, this next rotation, is a bit much, but make sure you use it in variations for sure. Same with all of these, use them in variations. You're not gonna set up these rotations exactly the way I'm doing them, unless you do, obviously, which I sometimes do. This one, I'm telling you, I don't set this up this exact way. Sometimes I'll, instead of going from here to here, I'll be coming up stump this way and just go here. Okay, so this last part right here, you definitely want to use in variations because there's a lot of scenarios. I'll show you a scenario really quickly. So a lot of scenarios from either right here or right here, or just anywhere where you would end up on this branch. Whenever you end up on this branch, you always have the option to turn and double rotate to one of these. Even if you came in that direction, you just have to turn directly around. I would never turn directly around on that one because everyone will follow that. Especially lava monkeys, having the speed boost is much easier for them. But anyways, whenever you land over here, and you can do that because a lot of times they can't follow you, especially if you do the first double rotation that I showed you. And the reason for that is, I might as well show you, because most people don't know that underbranching this is the fastest way to get up here and rotate again. They don't know that. So what they usually do is, once they get here, they go here. Sound like I heard someone. Which is much slower. So you'll have distance enough to, if you wanted to, somehow pull off the craziest fucking stunt of your life, jump straight to this, do a whole 180, and jump backwards. It'll be risky. I'm telling you, that's a risky play. Anyways, in every scenario where you land on here optimally, where you don't have to do a 180, you can always jump back to there, they'll rotate off of there, or just jump straight here and do the rotate I showed you. So underbranching this is nice because it lands you right on the end, as you can see. That's how most of these long jump, or most of these rotates are. Get you right on the end. And underbranching is the safer option if you think about it. There's a whole branch between the tagger's hand, so it's like weird. Also, when I underbranch this, they don't know I'm landing right here and doing this rotate, so yeah. Whee! But you could, if you just need it to be a little easier, just do it straight. And then also, if you land here, Webby showed me this, underbranching this, or swing to this, because this will set you up to do a long jump to this, which is an alternative in the next rotation I'll show you, to jumping from here to there. And the reason is because you can rotate off of there to here, but you can't do an entire 180 to go straight there. So what I'll do is I'll just pull a whatever half of 180 is to go right here, quarter turn, and then hit that. So that's an alternative to making this jump right here. So a lot of times, this is actually just my scrim start, and I'll just immediately do the long jump. So yeah, there's that. When you're like right below this branch and you're climbing up this tree, you can underbranch this to stump, which I missed. One last one, and this is just a start, but this is not the setup for this long jump. But basically, you're gonna want to jump from twin towers, the higher twin tower, to the smaller twin tower right here, because this is a setup for this long jump right here, from here to this branch right here. It's a setup for it, but obviously the real setup is basically jumping from the taller twin tower back to the smaller twin tower to this branch. So like I was explaining before, basically, well, you're supposed to make this jump right here. It's not that hard, I just missed it. But anyways, you can see, as I was saying before when I was explaining the meta, to basically run the map in a circle. That was just one circle, a hard to follow circle, obviously. And it'd be even more difficult if you were to, like, say, double back, run back through the circle. You create the circle that everyone else has to navigate. You create the routes that everyone else has to follow. Taggers may think they have all the power because if you're scared of them, they choose which area of the map you're going to, which is true. But ultimately, you have the power to make them chase. That's what leading is. Basically, you lead a tagger to an area where you know you're going to rotate, and I don't think I explained this when I was explaining the meta. You lead a tagger to an area where you know you're going to do a rotate that they can't do, or something of that sort. Basically, like these rotates, for example, I'm leading them to believe I'm going up tallest. Maybe they're not right behind me and they start going up double walls, but no, I'm actually going to treehouse. So that's what leading is. It's basically just juking, but yeah. Okay, so I'm done talking now. I have infinitely more of these rotations. These are just my favorite ones and variations of them that I could fit into a video. But obviously there's infinite possibilities. And one thing I do want to say, to not discourage anyone who finds these very hard, is that rotates and everything are great. They do something very specific, which is get you to another part of the map. I will say that regular routes have the same effect over time, obviously. So regular routes you shouldn't neglect them. They're still a part of the meta. Scaling is also a part of the meta, which I may have failed to mention. But scaling is a part of the meta because the same way rotations get you horizontally to another place in the map, scaling gets you vertically up in the map to where you have the same opportunity to do rotate off of the top of each tree. So scaling is a part of the meta because it's a great escape. The routes that are most useful are routes where you'll quickly ascend to the top. I'll show a very basic one really quickly that I used to do. I've never been tagged doing this route, like literally, but I'm quickly at the top of the map. So it's just like that. I actually messed it up a little bit, but yeah, you can see I'm quickly from bottom to the top of the map in a way that no one's really going to follow. And that's how I used to do it. But yeah, so I have that to say. And I'm going to say thanks for watching and everything. Because like I said, I'm done talking. I'm just going to have a bunch of different rotations from their older recordings. I'm going to have those playing for you guys. So enjoy.
Time is an illusion that helps things make sense. So we're always living in the present tense. It seems unforgiving when a good thing ends. But you and I will always be back then. You and I will always be back then. You and I will always be back then. You and
Make sure I'm at the back of my play space. This is my hindrance. I have no play space abuse.
Will happen, happening, happened, and will happen again and again. 'Cause you and I will always be back then. If there was some amazing force outside of time to take us back to where we were, and hang each moment up like pictures on the wall inside a billion tiny frames so that we could see it all, it would look like will happen, happening, happened, will happen, happening, happened, and will happen again and again. 'Cause you and I will always be back then. 'Cause you and I will always be back then. 'Cause you and I will always be back then. That's why you and I will always be best friends.
don't forget when you do this, you have the option to go here to here, and then do one of these continuations, anything over here, and also you can just, when you land up here, go straight for tall flat, or even just straight from here, like all the way at the top of it, go to here. All useful.
All your little loyal subjects do. Sorry, I'm not made of sugar. Am I not sweet enough for you? Is that why you always avoid me? That must be such an inconvenience to you. Well, I'm just your problem. I'm just your problem. It's like I'm not even a person, am I? I'm just your problem. Well, I shouldn't have to justify what I do. I shouldn't have to prove anything to you. I'm sorry that